Okay, get this. What if you could take a $1 toy, just a simple little board game, and turn it into a fully playable video game in just a couple of hours? Sounds pretty wild, right? Well, that's exactly what one developer did, using basically nothing more than a photo and an AI. So we're going to break down exactly how this happened, and maybe more importantly, what it tells us about the future of, well, making stuff.
But first, let me ask you a question, and be honest. Think about that shelf in your closet, or that pile in the corner. How many board games you own that are still sitting there, maybe even still in the shrink wrap? You know the feeling, right? You get super excited about a new game, you bring it home, and then you look at the 30-page rule book and all those little cardboard pieces you have to punch out, and you just think, maybe later. It's too much work to even get started.
Well, a developer was feeling that exact same pain and had this totally wild idea to solve it. What if you could just skip all of that setup? What if you could literally just take a picture of a board game and have an AI build a playable version for you right there on your computer? I mean, that was the big, ambitious goal. So this idea really came from a personal place. This developer, he loves these super complex war games, the kind with a million tiny pieces. But he realized he was spending hours setting them up, admiring the board, and then never actually playing them. So to test out his big AI idea, he decided to start small. He went to Daiso, which, if you don't know, is like a Japanese dollar store, and he grabbed a really simple Sugoroku board game. It was the perfect guinea pig for his experiment. Okay, now this is where it gets really interesting. Instead of just diving headfirst into coding, he did something really, really smart. He decided to treat the AI, in this case Gemini, like an expert consultant, almost like a mentor. He basically went to it and asked for a whole strategy. How would you do this? What am I going to run into? What's the best plan of attack here? And what's wild is that the AI came back with this super clear 3-step plan. Step 1, consult an AI for a strategy, which, is what he was already doing. Step 2, digitize the physical game board. And step 3, use an AI tool to build the game. For this project, that tool was Google's Antigravity. It was a solid, logical roadmap to get started. And this right here brings us to what might be the most crucial part of this whole project. Gemini's biggest piece of advice was all about the prep work. It really hammered home that getting a clean, clear photo of the board and, just as importantly, structuring the rules in a way a computer could understand, that was everything. You know the old saying, right? Garbage in, garbage out? It's truer than ever with AI. All right, so with that plan in hand, the developer gets to work. He actually scans the board game map at a convenience store, he simplifies the rules just like the AI told him to, and then he feeds all of that information into the anti-gravity AI. He hits the go button and, okay, this is where things get absolutely mind-blowing. In less than 10 minutes, the AI created a functional game. I'm not talking about a plan or a few lines of code. I mean, it built the user interface, it wrote the logic for rolling dice, it created the system for moving the player's piece across the board, a working skeleton of the entire game, built in the time it takes to make a cup of coffee. It's just, wow. But, and this is a really important but, the AI wasn't a magician. After that incredible 10-minute sprint, it basically paused. It came back to the developer not with a perfectly finished game, but with a surprising request. It basically gave its human partner some homework to do. And this is where you really see both the AI's limitations and its cleverness. It came back and pretty much said, look, I've built the engine, but I can't see all 50+ squares on this game board. Trying to identify them all by sight would take me a very, very long time. So I've built a special tool for you, the human, to use to map them out for me. Think about that. It knew its own weakness, and it built a custom solution for its human partner to help. And that task, that bit of homework for the human, it took 2 hours. So just let that contrast sink in for a second. 10 minutes for the AI to build the entire complex game engine, and 2 hours for the human to do the tedious, manual, click work of telling the AI where every single square on the map was. And this is the moment the whole project transforms. It's not an AI just doing a job anymore. It evolves into a true partnership. It's not a simple handoff from AI to human. It becomes this back and forth, a really fluid, collaborative effort that combines the best of what both could do. And you can really see that division of labor here. The AI took care of the heavy lifting, coding the core logic, building the UI. Meanwhile, the human's job was to be the bridge from the analog to the digital world, scanning the map, making sense of the rules, and doing all of that manual data entry. And here's a fun little aside.
The developer said the AI would even give him words of encouragement while he was doing all that tedious clicking. So if you look at the entire project from start to finish, it took about 5 hours. In half a day, they went from a $1 toy to a playable browser game. That breaks down into 10 minutes for the AI's initial build, 2 hours of that crucial human data entry, and then a final 3 hours where the human and AI basically pair programmed. They worked together to fix bugs and add polish. It wasn't just hitting a button, it was like a conversation. The developer would describe a problem, and the AI would suggest the code to fix it.
So, what does this whole experiment really teach us about this new way of creating things? The developer calls it vibe coding, which I kind of love. It's more than just a cool party trick, right? It points to this fundamental shift in how we might build software. A world where the human provides the vision and the vibe, and the AI handles all the messy syntax. So let's boil it down to a few key lessons. First, this shows that AI is a powerful collaborator, not just a magic button. It's not going to do everything for you. Second, good preparation is everything. That initial work of structuring the rules and getting a clean image was the most critical part. And third, you see the human's role changing. It's less about writing every line of code and more about being the supervisor, the director, and handling those tasks that bridge the real world and the digital one. The barrier to entry for creating something cool just got way, way lower. In the end, the developer's conclusion was this. Trying to do this with one of his massive, complex war games would still be a huge challenge. But simple little board games? They're the perfect tutorial level. They are a fantastic, accessible, and honestly, a fun way for pretty much anyone to start learning how to work with an AI in this new collaborative way. And that really brings us back to where we started. This whole project began with a simple, everyday annoyance, unplayed board games. So I want to leave you with this question to think about. What simple frustration or tedious task in your own life could be solved if you had an AI partner, just like this, to help you build a little tool for it?